Good evening, and thank you for joining us on this Friday night. We want to begin with what is likely to become a historic legal battle unlike any other in American history, as Congress today ordered former President Donald Trump to testify under oath. The January 6th committee followed through on its unanimous vote to subpoena the former president for documents and his testimony related to his false allegations about the 2020 presidential election. In a letter, Chairman Benny Thompson and Vice Chair Liz Cheney write that the committee has gathered, quote, overwhelming evidence that Trump personally orchestrated a multi-step effort to overturn the 2020 election and obstruct the peaceful transition of power. This comes on the same day that longtime Trump ally Steve Bannon was sentenced to 4 months in prison for defying a subpoena from the very same committee. Bannon remains free tonight as he appeals his conviction. Plus, we're learning new details about those classified documents seized from Mar-a-Lago in August. CBS's Scott MacFarlane is going to start us off tonight from Capitol Hill. Good evening, Scott.
Good evening, Nora. More than a year into its probe, the House January 6th Select Committee wants to put the man at the center of its investigation under oath, seeking critical records from Donald Trump by November 4th. That's 4 days before the midterm election, and seeking his deposition 1 week after. The January 6th committee today demanded testimony and documents from the former president, arguing he played a central role in trying to subvert the election and triggered the assault on the Capitol. In the letter accompanying the subpoena, they write the evidence demonstrates that you knew this activity was illegal and unconstitutional, and also knew that your assertions of fraud were false. Panel member Pete Aguilar said they're open to questioning Trump in a live hearing.
We're going to be prepared if the former president decides to come, and if he puts restrictions on it for live testimony, we're going to be prepared for that eventuality. We will be prepared in any scenario to take testimony under oath from the former president.
The committee wants information about Trump's dealings with key players who've all pleaded the Fifth, plus all his communications by phone, text, or the private messaging app Signal on January 6th. They also want any information referring to the Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, or other militia groups.
We are obligated to seek answers directly from the man who set this all in motion.
A source tells CBS News that among the documents seized on August 8th, that Trump's Florida estate was one containing information about Iran's missile program, and another including highly sensitive intelligence work aimed at China. Material that, if exposed, could jeopardize foreign sources or even prompt other countries to retaliate against the U.S.
To the extent his supporters are calling this a overblown documentary matter, we're talking the crown jewels. It's hard to see how anybody could do greater damage than spiriting them away and not keeping them protected.
Meanwhile, Trump's former top aide, Steve Bannon, was reprimanded in federal court in Washington for failing to comply with a January 6th committee subpoena. Judge Carl Nichols, a Trump appointee, ordered Bannon to serve 4 months in prison and pay a $6,500 fine, saying he showed no remorse for his actions.
Mr. Bannon.
Bannon ignored reporters' questions, only attacking President Biden.
And we will groom the Biden administration ends on the evening of the 8th of November.
The judge did allow Bannon to remain free pending an appeal, which could take months. Meanwhile, a Trump attorney tells CBS News the committee's public announcement of that subpoena was unprecedented and inappropriate. Nora, that raises real questions about whether the former president ever intends to cooperate.
That's a good point. Scott MacFarlane, thank you.